Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island season 9 episode 27. Before I get into it, please make sure to like the video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. So we started off with Will talking to Layla again, and at this point he could not realize that she was working him.
I think you're a troublemaker.
Do you? Really?
Sweet and genuine and funny and sexy and...
All right. Calm down, girl.
You're getting excited now. You're a bit giddy.
So I could have the read on Will all the way off, but I feel like because he's more of the quirky kind of guy, maybe to like fit in with the other men, he wants to come off as like one of the lads. So like when Layla challenges him, he does oblige, you know what I mean? Because like I didn't take him for a guy who would like to, you know, follow the flock. Pun intended. I didn't take him for that kind of guy. Like I thought he was okay with just being the quirky guy or whatever, but every time she calls him out like, yeah, you've become lame, yeah, you're not the cheeky chap that I thought you were, like it's almost like he's like, no, I can be, I'll prove it to you. And it's like, well, you don't have to do that. And not for Layla. Bridgeton is talking to Kai. Guys, were you not here for the nickname episode? Like some people are asking, who's this, who's that? Go a few videos back, it'll tell you who's who. Bridgerton is talking to Kai and he seems very smitten by her.
I feel like you can do your bum yourself.
I feel like I can't.
I'm not very good at rubbing it
No,
in.
you're not. You need to like work on your rubbing skills.
Look at you.
The girl that I'm gravitating to most in here is probably you. You can tell us who's a better kisser.
I'd love that.
Should we go?
Bridgerton is very full on, a lot more full on than I expected her to be. And didn't he have the same issue of like, oh, Tanya is just so much to handle and whatever? Like, isn't Bridgerton kind of giving y'all the same vibes? Maybe? I don't know. I just think it's interesting how I feel like there are parallels between Tanya and Bridgerton, but he's really into her, so we'll see where that goes. Olive Oil is having a, sorry, Olivia. You guys are the ones who call her Olive Oil, and I've been calling her that because of you. Olivia is having a conversation with Demesha. He's giving her advice, basically saying, hey, Kai has you on a roster and you are not on the top.
I feel like you're not even his number 1, number 2, number 3 even.
What, Kai?
Yeah.
I'm not the first, I'm not the second, I'm not the third, but I'm the 4th choice. It's interesting.
I found it very interesting how she was like, oh my gosh, well, if I'm not high on the list, then maybe I need to have some more options or whatever. I really feel like when it comes to the two of them, Kai has more interest in Olivia than Olivia does in Kai. So it's interesting now how if the perception allegedly is that Kai is taking her on a trip, she needs to cast her net wide, when I feel like she's the one taking Kai on a trip. Like she's the one being coupled up with him for gain. And some other people in the villa do point it out later on in the episode, and I'm like, yeah, like Olivia ain't really into Kai the way that she's saying, but Kai is her lifeline, so she needs to hold on to that until she finds another one. Jessie has been talking to X, and the more she talks to him, the more she realizes she really likes Will.
The more he talks to me, it's doing more harm than good. It's just making me miss Will. I just really think that what Will and I have is special, and I do trust Will.
A lot of people who watch the Australian version feel like the way that she moved in Casa then is how she's going to move in Casa now. Well, surprise, surprise, honey. Maybe she has learned from her lesson, and maybe now she's older, she doesn't feel like she has to explore as much as she used to. But this is a very different Casa for Jessie. She's very loyal this time around. She is completely sold on Will. Like the more I hear her talk, the more I feel like she's all in. You know, she opened up about her insecurities and how she hasn't found somebody who's as quirky as she is or accepts all her quirks, and it seems like Will is that guy. Oh, what is gonna happen to Jessie? Poor thing. Sammy said that she is a slow burn, but by slow burn, I did not know it's ashes. She is just burnt out.
I'm not putting pressure on myself.
Yeah, 100%.
Because otherwise I'll just get
Yeah, it's too much.
like overwhelmed.
I woke up this morning and I really miss Tom. So now I think I'm having a I miss Tom day.
We will never be released from the shackles of Tom, because I feel like the general public does like Sammy for the most part, so I can see them wanting to keep her around. And if she's pregnant with Tom, that means Tom is not going anywhere anytime soon. And then later on in the episode, she said she got the ick for Ed Sheeran. I wanted to see him in the villa. I wanted to see what that was going to look like, but it seems like she's going to go back with Tom. Let's see if Tom is going to go back with her. Tresses has made it very clear that she is into Tom. But the way that Tom explains his connection with Tresses and Sammy, I'm just like, where are the personality traits? Where are the characteristics outside of physical that you like about these women?
Jake, we'll have another cuddle tonight.
Do you want another cuddle? I like one. Yeah, I liked it.
Kind of my Sammy, who's an absolute worldie. Lydia, who's also like a worldie. So it's tough, honestly. It's a headache.
So in last episode, weren't you just saying you're trying to look for a wife, and now it's all about, oh, but this one's a worldie and this one's a world. Like, this is why I cannot trust Tom. He is so wishy-washy. One day he's all in on you. Next day, who are you? Never met you before. One day he's looking for a wife. Next day he's stuck on a girl who's just like a worldie and all. Like, it's just, it doesn't make sense. There's no continuity with him. One day he's the villain. Next day he's the voice of reason. I don't know if like it's an editing thing, if it's a Tom thing, but like he's just so hot and cold, on and off, yes and no, that I cannot support Tom unless he's partnered up with Sammy, because I like her and I feel like that's the only way we're gonna have her around. Tanya. Yo, baby girl is still working really hard for affection from Demesha.
The best looking guy in the villa.
Oh, that's me. Oh, wow.
You like that one? Looking for love.
Yeah, really Cupid. You know, I woke up and you were like touching my knee. You're like,
I was.
Yeah, you're like this. You're like grabbing it.
So I don't really like him for her. And what makes it worse is the fact that I feel like he responds to her advances, and rarely does he actually put himself out there for her. We later on learn in the episode that it might be due to the fact that she was intimate with Shaq so quick, and he's like, I don't really know if I want to go down that road. I was watching Chicane TV, and it's funny because one of them actually pointed, was it one of them or all of them? I don't remember. They pointed out that maybe he was being hesitant because she had already had sex with somebody else, and he didn't want to deal with that whole thing. So the fact that he brought it up, I was like, oh, okay. She did say that typically on the outside, she would have already jumped his bones, and I'm like, but babe, don't we want to do something different? You don't have to be looking for a serious relationship, but like the way that you've handled things in the past hasn't worked out. Like, why are we going to do the same thing? And then here she is in the bed with him at night, already kissing. I was like, oh my gosh, Tanya. Y'all gotta be careful who you say you love early on, because now look at this, a hot ass mess. Casey and Cakes are having a conversation. And at first I was into it until like the end of the conversation. I was like, I don't really think I like that as much as I thought I would.
Who are you warming towards?
You already know. Don't ask silly questions.
I feel you definitely deserve one as well.
Do I actually?
Yeah, you do.
Well, Casey, I'm right here. You can go for it if you want.
When I get that feeling.
Cynthia's very confident. She's such a little minx, honestly.
The two issues for me that I have with this conversation are, one, him calling her a minx, and two, him saying that she deserved a kiss. I can't fully tell you why those two things did not sit well with me, but I'm just like, is it giving fetish? I don't know. Is it giving fetish? Is it? I don't know. And I hate that every time a Black woman is in the villa, I have to question things like this. But like, that's the reality. Like, even last year, I got so super hyped for Jay when he picked China. And look how that panned out. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I hope that there's a genuine interest, and it's not just like, I wonder what it would be like to engage with her in the bedroom. And then after that, like, that's it. The connection doesn't go anywhere. I really hope Casey sees more than just a conquest with Cakes. Terrace Tom has taken yet another woman onto the terrace, and well, you could assume what happened after that.
The best things come when you least expect it, and I feel like it's happening. It's quite nice. It feels nice.
I didn't think I'd have like a tough decision coming in here, put it that way.
Yeah.
So don't leave me alone.
Tom is such an interesting one for me because personally he's very unlikable. Like I don't like the way that he moves in the villa. Like, I just don't like it. But he's so easily vibey with anyone. Because at first I was rooting for him and Sammy, and then I was rooting for him and the other Sammy, and now I'm rooting for him and Tresses, and I'm just like, how does he do it? How does he? I was rooting for him and Zara. I was never rooting for him and Olivia just because I don't like Olivia. But I want to learn. I want to learn. How do you have these strong connections with so many different kind of people, and I get sold every time on the connection itself, not on Tom, but on the connection? Like, how does he do that? It's a skill, really, and he needs to teach me. Lana and Jesse have decided that they are all in on their men in the main villa and will not be indulging in all that Casa has to offer.
Although I tried to be open in here, my decision was kind of made. Out of everyone in that villa, including Ron, he's the one that's staying loyal.
I'm sorry, no offense, Lana, but I feel like your pig didn't pick you. And maybe that's why you're not fully engaging into Casa, because you wanted Ed Sheeran and Ed Sheeran wanted Sammy. So I don't really know if you really made the decision to not engage in Casa, but okay. Jesse at least made it a point to be like, I don't like you. I like my man, and I'm gonna stick beside him. Will has had a come to Jesus moment and has realized that his encounter with Layla wasn't worth it, and he needs to dead that before Casa is over.
I felt really guilty, and I cheated in a way. The way I'm feeling now, I know we've got not even friends, because I find you really attractive, and I think you're a very, very lovely girl.
This is a tough one for me because I never expected Will to be in this situation. And if it was anybody else, I feel like I would be so upset at him. But this is the 1 in a million chance where I really hope the person who made a big blunder in Casa can work things out with their main person in the main villa. I really, really, really hope him and Jesse can get back in good graces, because I don't know, I don't know. I'm so sold on this connection now that if he breaks Jesse's heart, I actually will be sad. I actually will be sad. That is so interesting. This has never happened to me before. This Casa has just messed me up. Casey and Cakes have a kiss on the terrace again. They're like, whatever. At this point, I just want to see that you're genuine. Once you're genuine, then I'm gonna continue to really root for this connection. But as of right now, I don't know. I don't know. I like Casey. I like Cakes. I just there's just something in me that feels like it's an opportunistic pursuit and it's not a genuine one, but only time will tell. What else do I got here? Ron has become the voice of reason, child, and he's talking to Kai, letting him know that Olivia might have chosen you for gain rather than actual attraction.
I do really like Liv, bro.
I know you do.
But does Liv like me as much as I like her?
I feel like that, for her, was her way of staying here.
I am swaying towards Sanam.
Keep that between us, the boys.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell her that.
No, I don't.
Well, listen, no one would know more about playing a game than Ron and Tom, so if anything, I would fully believe what they're saying. But then I'm also just like, dang, I have to side with Ron, damn it. I do think that Olivia chose Kai for benefit. And now that she sees he's not really doing great in the ranking, she doesn't know what to do. She's flailing in the wind, trying to look for something else to latch onto, and I don't see her turning her head back to Kai, honestly. I think the Kai dupe is going to be what she's gonna ride out to the end, and then she's gonna realize the problem wasn't Kai. The problem was her. Yeah, the last note I have is that Demesha and Tanya kissed in the bed. That I already talked about that, so yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, what are my predictions? Because tonight is the night. Tonight is the night. So I feel like Kai is gonna recouple. Will is not gonna recouple. Ron is not gonna recouple. Shaq is not gonna recouple. Casey's gonna recouple. I feel like there's another guy, but I don't remember who. Then we have Sammy's not gonna recouple. Jesse's not gonna recouple. Lana's not gonna recouple. I can see Tanya recoupling. Yeah. And then obviously Olivia's gonna recouple. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out, because Casa Fallout is where the drama begins. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.